All right, we're back, and as you can see, I'm joined by not Gallegation. His hair is not nearly as nice.
I spent almost 10 seconds. Well, let's not worry about that.
We have our next match ready. It is going to be Skiboots versus Puck. It's going to be on Coda. We're headed into it. And Winter joining me today to talk some knowledge and stuff.
Every once in a while, I like to talk about StarCraft.
Yeah, and I'm glad you gotta get that closer to your face.
I just gotta. It's right up in there. Okay. Beautiful. Great. I think that's better. Okay. It's like right there.
There you go.
Anyways, I like to talk about StarCraft on occasion, which is nice.
Really? I didn't have any idea.
I'm glad I'm here to do it with you as well, Wingnuts. We're casting. Are we yelling at him?
Yeah, we're yelling at him.
Oh, we're yelling at you.
All right.
Oh, we're in game.
We're jumping into game number 1 of Puck versus Skiboots. Ah, did it again. Up the upper right-hand corner, the purple Protoss is Puck.
All right, his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner. Give it up for the challenger, the Red Terran, Skiboots.
And we're paused.
Well, not yet. We got to pause it. Is that his job?
I don't know.
Is that our job?
I'll pause it.
All right. And we're paused. All right, let's talk about TVP for a second.
Let's do that.
TVP in Heart of the Swarm follows one sort of consistent trend. It comes down to early on, whether the Terran or the Protoss, or sometimes both, go for a little bit of early aggression. Like you'll see a lot of Widowmine drops, maybe some Blink Stalkers and Oracle, stuff like that. And then usually it kind of settles down into an expansion. Sometimes you'll see players go straight for the Expo. Sometimes they won't opt for that early aggression. But I would not be surprised to see Puck come out with something like an Oracle or just something to get that little bit of early lead, as I'm sure he's confident against this opponent.
Yeah, I mean, PvT, I am a Scrub League player, but I particularly like using the Oracle, especially because...
It's one of those. You're one of those players.
One of those guys, yeah.
It can definitely get a lot of early damage done. It's one of those things that you should be prepared for, but even players at the highest level just are not on way too regular occasion. And as the Protoss, that just feels so nice, killing 8-10 SCVs with an Oracle. And as a Terran, you hate your life.
That does. I mean, it's it's what actually gets you to sleep at night after a rough day. SCV death.
Yeah, beautiful. That's just what I wanted to think about right now. Anyways, it looks like it's just going to be a Reaper expand opening up so far. On the other side, the gateway is in just a normal position. Nothing crazy happening right now. We're not seeing like a Nexus first or a CC first or a Proxy Rex, even though I would not be surprised, especially if Skiboots tries something like that in this series.
So we're going in with the assumption that the Puck is highly favored. So given that,
very heavy assumption.
What would be your guess as the best bet for Skiboots?
Honestly, I would, if I were him, I wouldn't try just some all-out attack. Maybe something like putting a factory on the other side and floating it into the edge of the main and making a Widowmine in there. Something that's not all in, but you can get a lead off of. Puck is going to be looking for absolutely everything. He's going to be looking for those proxy racks. He's going to expect... honestly, I don't even think he needs to look for them. I think he's confident in just microing his way out of those situations. So you want to remove the opportunity for him to outplay you. And things like Widowmines, things like just like straight pushes that only have so much potential to defend against it. Those are the things you're usually going to be looking for to take out a player like this.
Well, the real question is how does Puck play in a match where he's heavily favored? Is he one that plays
I want to see carriers.
Pretty straight up?
Carriers. I want
Does he play pretty straight up, or does he, go all full Desro like last year, where Desro would pretty much double proxy everyone?
I think game number 1, he's just going to play straight up. He got a little bit of a scare against Game Time earlier on, who held his own against Puck. But Puck is just he's a professional player. He's played at LANs all the time. I'm sure he wants to just feel it out. Maybe this guy, sure, he saw he was in around the Platinum League, but who knows? Maybe he's one of those top 16 GM barcodes. You don't know. You never know.
You never know.
But Puck.
Reaper does poke into Puck's base, and Stalker comes down to push it away. Reaper's going to get away unscathed once he heals up. Expansion coming down for Skiboots. Puck looking like he's not really going to be doing any kind of expanding anytime super soon. Warp gate coming down, one start, one gateway.
It's going to be the Blink. Now we have to see, is he going to expand? He's got plenty of minerals here. It looks like he's just going to be adding the gateways. Notice where he places all the gateways in order, if he gets scanned, there's no confirmation. You're not going to see the Twilight Council being chronoed and all the gateways in the same scan. He's just spreading everything out, making it harder to get all the information. And honestly, if there are not bunkers on the high ground, if he doesn't have multiple Marauder production, if he tries to hold the high ground, Skiboots will probably die.
Fair enough. It looks like the Reaper has poked back in. Not really going to see a whole lot. Just basically sees Warp Gate coming down on the Cybernetics core. The main of Puck is fully saturated, but looks like he might be having a probe come down here to be able to expand himself now that Blink is about half done. 2 more gateways about to finish up. At what point is the best point for him to go ahead and you know, start putting on the aggression from the Blink?
Well, I mean, right as soon as Blink is finishing up, he's going to want to look. He already knows that his opponent expanded. It looks like he got a tell here somehow. It looks like the Reaper came back in, or something came back in for another pass, and he saw there wasn't an expansion. So he's making the right call here. He's holding the high ground. The hardest part is figuring out how long you stay on that high ground, because if you go down too early, you die. But if you don't go down early enough, he builds up, he overwhelms you, and you die. So it's a sweet spot you got to hit with the re-expand.
We've definitely seen in the previous games against Game Time, Puck has this this pylon kind of on the edge of a high ground here, and that was a high contributor to him winning those 2 games because it was never found and never taken out. So, I mean, Puck is going to be trying to push here right at the front, but eventually he's going to... Skiboots is kind of keeping his stuff in line so that he can't really come up this side Blink area as easily either.
Yeah, he's doing a good job so far. The one thing I want to point out, he hasn't started his stim yet. He should start that in just a moment. He's not going to have a factory. Yeah, stim's on the way. But without a factory, he doesn't have that exponential power. Like, air units in this matchup give you a lot of extra power. Whether it's Vikings or whether it's Medivacs are what you need to deal with a ground army or a Colossus army. And the longer he delays that, the harder it's going to be going in later on. I'm surprised Puck is actually engaging, but he can get a few units here.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really have stim, and he doesn't have a combat shield yet for those Marines, so the Stalkers will do quite a bit of damage to them, but there are SCVs around that bunker to be able to repair it. Puck does have the forward pylons here and his expansion up and running, so he can kind of hang out and keep Skiboots contained in his base.
Yeah. And you see right now, he's not really mining all of his gas. He really needs... Well, he's working towards that factory now. Okay. He only has 2 barracks with add-ons. He hasn't started his +1, while Puck, on the other hand, has sat back and he's taken his expansion. And, well, the one saving grace for Skiboots here, there's no Robo, there's no Forge.
Oh, Skiboots going to move down the ramp and press the issue with Puck kind of pushing him away there. He did take out 1 Stalker.
Yeah.
But now he's going to try and reestablish himself here at the front, building a bunker, but the SCV was canceled because of the units in the way.
This could be a little bit dicey here. Those force fields cut that army in half, the game could end. But if he misses them, then this could actually go the way of Skiboots. He can't run up the ramp, he can't get too close here.
Well, that time warp on those units are going to be... I'm actually surprised Puck didn't kind of press that a little bit with the force fields and try and trap him down on the bottom side of that ramp.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate, though, for Skiboots. Oh, okay. That was not the chosen SCV. But as soon as he goes up the ramp, it's going to be... He has to wait until Medivacs to get back down. He's given up the expansion, which is just going to give so much leeway for Puck to pretty much do whatever he wants behind this. He's getting the Robo. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Forge soon. He knows that Skiboots can't come down that ramp, and then he'll know when Medivacs are out after.
Stim is finishing up here, and he is deciding to come down the ramp a bit, but he does have those sentries there, like you said. So if he comes down that ramp, it's going to be a death note for these guys. Stim is finished up. Still no combat shields. And, you know, Skiboots is kind of teching a bit. I mean, he did get the factory. He does have a Stargate now, so he's building Medivacs, but, I mean, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, what he can be banking on right now, honestly, you get the first 2 Medivacs, you break this contain, like he can flank with some of the army. He's got to be real careful about how he does it. I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes and elevators out several Medivacs worth of units, and maybe just pull the SCVs. Pull the boys with the first Medivacs, because the longer he gives Puck's expanded. He has to know that by now. He's scanned it. He knows what's coming. And he knows the longer he stays on top of this ramp, the lower chance of victory.
Yeah, it looks like Puck is going to be going for Colossus here in the long range. 2 more gateways coming down as well, as concussive shells is being produced by Skiboots too. I mean, this is just like the most awful feeling position in the world, because
he can't lose that Medivac.
There's nothing in this position that Skiboots can really do. Puck has locked him in. He's tucking behind it. He's got more base. He's put down his 3rd base. And
Skiboots has to do something. He has to do something.
But sitting here is the worst thing you can possibly do. You can't just sit there. What would your opinion be?
Trying to go down this ramp is not going to work.
Loading up a medevac full of stuff and going to try and poke
I would
Puck.
say put 2 medevacs full of units, put them on the low ground on that outside, and then come back and bring the rest of the units, come around.
Look at that.
And
no, he's going to lose one medevac.
He telegraphed that so hard.
Oh, man.
Look at Puck with the probe there already. He knows what his weaknesses are.
Nice time warp there. Oh, time warp and force field is going to insanely restrict the movement of Skiboots here. He's pretty much doomed. Nice blink here, back by Puck, moving back the weakened Stalkers, and he's going to really just ravage the army of Skiboots.
Yeah, that's how I was talking about earlier. You spend too much time on the top of your ramp, eventually Puck is going to macro up, he's going to get that production, and he's going to overwhelm you with 2 bases to 1, and that's what's happening here.
I mean, really, he doesn't have to make anything but just a lot more blank Stalkers. The fact that he put down a Robo is kind, but...
He was assuming maybe there was a chance that he comes out another side, but Puck, just a solid game. Pretty easy game, I guess we could say, for him. Skiboots kind of playing into his hand in every sense of the word. And, I mean, there's not too much to say there.
So, if you're Skiboots at this point, Skiboots now has to pick a map for the second game. If you're Skiboots, what map would you be picking? Or doesn't it matter?
Moonlight Madness, and do that factory play. Get a factory right off the side and bring it up the ramp, sneak a Widow Mine in or something. I'm sticking by that, like...
You're thinking Skiboots' best bet is to try and do something cheesy or sneaky to get himself ahead enough to have a chance?
That was a pretty standard game right there, with the blink into an expansion against a pretty much a 3-Rex after a 1-Rex expand. Didn't go so well for him. Didn't go so well. So I think he needs to change pace here.
Yep, so just waiting on a map from Skiboots. You're done for the day. You've gotten yourself into the Archon mode match on Sunday. We're going to come back on Sunday and play the losers final, the winners semifinal, and then have the, which you're in, and then have the Archon mode match of the top 4 from those previous games. So really, we only need 4 people remaining after today. Who do you think the other 3 are?
Well, I think Puck is a little bit of a shoo-in. Game Time has been showing some pretty strong play. Maybe if Zan or someone can take him out. Honestly, I think Game Time and Zan would have to fill out 3 and 4. But there's a chance that Fat Cat, he's a Grandmaster player as well. There are a few players who I think could maybe sneak their way in. Not to put them down, but I think they're definitely favored players in a lot of these matchups.
All right. Skiboots.
Oh yeah, I gotta get in the game.
Working on it.
Did he pick a map? Cactus Valley?
Yep. Oh, wow. That's the wrong thing. That was also not the correct thing.
We're almost there. We can do it. The technology.
I did not need to accept my party invite. I clicked the wrong button.
I did it.
Fair enough. Oh, no, that's not going to work out either. Whoops.
I wish it was like the CSGO lobbies where the lobby is a bunch of people in the warm-up shooting at each other.
Yeah, so that is...
a little bit more fun than the dancing around trying to put people in BattleNet lobbies. But
all right, our players are ready going into Cactus Valley for...